Okay, let's start now. So, in our previous aptitude classes, almost we have covered everything. So, big part and a part of logical reasoning as well. ठीक है, तो ये सब हमने cover कर लिया already. And today I'm going to cover up with some of the portion of analytical reasoning. Right. So we are going to start with analytical reasoning. Now, what is analytical reasoning? Basically, we are going to solve some of the questions where you will be analyzing some of the statements which are given to you. Right, and after analyzing the statements you will come to some conclusion, right? और जो चीज आपसे पूछी हुई that you are supposed to find. Now that thing is what you are supposed to search for in such questions. Now in this questions, first thing is about to analyze the data properly. So whatever data has been given to you, you have to analyze it properly. I will be giving you some of the shortcut tricks that you need to follow. Then after doing that, you have to either use quant, maths, or you need to use some of your logic. Right, but the main thing is you should be, first of all, you should be understanding the data properly which has been given. So in this uh, sequence, there are a lot of types of questions which are being asked frequently. Right. So we'll talk about what type of questions are being asked and how to solve them up. So let's start with this. And today's class we'll be talking about more of questions rather than theory. Questions की बात ज़्यादा करेंगे. So let's start. This is the first one. Yes. Try to solve this one.
Twenty-four.
Okay, I got two, three answers. Yes. So 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. So the logic goes like दो का difference है यहाँ पर, then दो का difference है, then चार का difference, दो का difference, चार का difference, दो का difference. We can go that like this, but this doesn't make any sense because यहाँ पर दो difference है, then 4 2 4 2 4. तो पहले दो क्यों? Right? It should be like 4 2 4 2 4 2. So this logic doesn't make any sense. The second logic that you need to search for. See, common difference is the first logic that you have to search for. Right. So I'll just write down over here. कि कौन से सीक्वेंस है हमें क्वेश्चन को we need to understand the questions or we have to analyze the series. So the first and foremost that we look for is a common difference. So if the common difference is having certain pattern or if the common difference is constant, that is which we look for. That is the first thing we look for. Right. For example, अगर यहाँ पर 4 2 4 2 4 2 वाला pattern होता, then it would have made sense. But it is not like so over here. So common difference is not going properly. The second thing that you need to search for is common ratio. If they are having certain common ratio, right, then also now this kind of questions, common ratio वाले questions जो होते हैं, they are basically asked in fractions. I'll just write it down. They're usually asked in fractions. So अगर fraction की कोई series दी हो, there are 99% chances that they will be having certain common ratio in between. So you need to identify those common ratios and you have to solve it accordingly. Right. Over here, if you see 5 by 3 is not equal to 7 by 5, so they are not having any of the common ratio between them. So that thing is also not. The third thing that you need to look for is prime numbers or composite numbers. Right. So this is how we analyze the series. Now, if you look into the series, yes, 3 is a prime number, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, all of them are prime number. So what is the next prime number after 19?
23.
I got the answer in the chat box as well. That's correct. will be 23. The correct answer will be 23 because it is a prime. Right. Similarly, if the prime numbers are not given or see only the composite numbers are given, then we have to look for the composite number. We have to skip the prime number. Then if this series goes off, then we talk about squares and cubes. So अगर ये चीज यहाँ पर agree नहीं करती है, so we next look for if there is any square or cube. So it may go like this, like 2 square minus 1, which is 4 minus 1 3. तो हमारा first term यहाँ पर आ रहा है. Then I'll go for 3 square minus 1, that is 9 minus 1, that is 8. Then 4 square minus 1, 15. 5 square minus 1, 24. ऐसी एक सीरीज आई हुई है एंड दिस कंफ्यूजेस अ लॉट. क्या है? बिकॉज देयर इज नो पैटर्न. यहाँ पर 5 आ रहा है, देन 7 आ रहा है, देन 9 आ रहा है, देन 11 आ जा रहा है. सो what kind of series is this that we need to look for? Right. Similarly, it can happen with the cube as well. Right. You can start with the cube as well. And another series that we can look for is differences between square and cube. Square and squares and cubes. So it goes like 2 cube minus 2 square, 8 minus 4, that is 3 cube minus 3 square, 27 minus 9, that is 18. So similarly, series can be formed and that series can come over here. So in this sequence, we search for what is the alternative. Now there is one more thing which they are using right now, जो आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा common है और popular है. That is they go for alternate numbers. So if this is first number of the series, this will be the second number of the series, this will be the third number of series. There will be another series जिसका पहला number ये होगा, दूसरा ये होगा, तीसरा ये होगा. So in this way they also go for the series, so we have to look for that series also. So जो भी हमारे मिसिंग नंबर वाले क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, like if you have to find the missing number or if you have to complete the questions, this is the thing you need to follow. Right. Let's move forward to the next one. Okay, now this is an interesting question. Try to calculate and let me know the answer.
Mm, 24.
Got two answers, 22 and 24, and 28 as well. Very good. Let's see how to solve this kind of question. Yes. So let's see how to solve this kind of question. So what the first thing that I will notice over here is that the patterns are repeating. Right? What kind of patterns? That three squares inside it we have diagonals. So square is getting repeated and I'll be using that first part, right, to solve this thing in order to avoid confusion. Like आप कैसे भी कर सकते हो, whatever method you have preferred. I'll just tell you what is my preferred method. So I'll just start with a square, a simple square, the pattern which is repeating. So let's have this square and there are diagonals over here. To make the understanding simpler, I'll just have the name over here. So let's say A, B, C, D, and this is 4. So how many triangles do I have over here? So I'll have AOB, BOC, COD, and DO. These are the four triangles I will be having. अब diagonal की बात करते हैं. So if I talk about diagonal AC, this diagonal AC will divide this entire square into two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle ADC. Similarly, अब मैं diagonal बात करता हूँ BD की. So if I talk about diagonal BD, this will divide the square into two parts, ABD and BCD. This there will be 8 triangles that I will be getting out of one square. Right, so 8 triangles. So I'll write down over here triangles per square is equals to 8. Number of square I have 3 squares, right? So number of squares will be 3. So I'll just multiply it there. So I'll get 24. So total triangles I got 24. But this is not my final answer. The reason being, when I join them together, I'm getting another triangles. Now, what kind of triangles do I get? I get triangles like this. This is first one. This is second one. This is third one. On the other side. And this is fourth one. There are 4 triangles. I will be getting 4. So I need to add 4 more. So I'll add 4 more over here. So this will become a total of 20. And answer will be 28. Right. So this will be a final answer. The thing is that the basic idea is if the patterns are repeating, you have to identify the pattern which is repeating, and then you'll combine it, so you'll get the answers easily. Now let's see the next one. This is a big question. I want all of you to read it carefully and give me the final answer. I got the first answer in the chat box. And let's see what is the correct answer. Okay, so second answer, good, very good. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Fine. So let's see, those who are still doing, we'll see how to solve this question or how to get the answer to this question. I'll read it quickly. There are four holes, number 1, 2, 3, 4. The unique property of these holes are that number of the mice become double, triple, and 4 times after entering the hole number 2 and 3, 2, 3, and 4 respectively. And it remains the same if they enter hole 1. When cat is running to eat some mice, okay. To save themselves, the mice enter the first hole, come out. 24 of them are eaten by the cat. They respectively enter second, third, and fourth hole and come with double, triple, and 4 times in the number. After exit from each hole, 24 mice are eaten up by the cat each time. At the end, there is no mouse left. Find the initial number of mouse before entering the first hole. So I have four holes. I'll start with like this. So let's say this is first, this is second, uh, this is my inside. This is where they're cutting. And this is how it is going. So at the exit of each hole, 24 mice are being getting eaten up. So over here, if you see, at the end there is no mouse left. Since there is no mouse left, so I can say that when they came out of the last hole, right, fourth hole, so there were 24 mice which were being eaten by the cat. Now this were these were 24 mice which are eaten by the cat. So when they entered the hole, they become 4 times, which was equal to 20. So कितने enter हुए थे? I'll just simply divide 24 by 4. That will become 6. Now this 6 These were the mouse which actually left, which were left from the second one, which was left from the second one, and plus 24 were eaten by uh, the cat. Right? 24 were eaten by the cat, and 6 were left after the third hole, after the exit from the third hole. 24 by default हर एक में वो तो होने वाला है, right? And 6 यहाँ पर बचे थे जो fourth hole में गए. So 24 plus 6 becomes 30. Right? So 30 came out of the third hole, and so how many went there? So obviously 10 went there, so they become 30. They become 3 times. So 10 went there, right? And 10 were, these were the mouse which were left after the second hole, and 24 were eaten, 10 were left. So it will become 34. Right. So 34 actually came out of the second hole. This was a 24. The cat ate, and 10 were left. Now, these 34, they were the twice when they entered. They became twice when they entered hole 2. So actually, they were 17, which became double. Right, which became double. Now, these 17 actually were the mouse which were left after the second hole. After the cat ate 24. So 24 to 17 were 41. So 41 were the mouse which actually entered the hole, and the sequence goes like this. So I am supposed to find out the initial number of mouses before entering, which become 41. Right. So this way it goes. It is better to solve these questions from the exit and then come to entry, right? Rather than going the other way. So I started from the last, and I just divided by 4, divided by 3, divided by 2, divided by 1. 1 is not required actually. So your answer will be 41. I hope this is clear. क्वेश्चन बहुत अच्छा है. It can take a little bit of time, and there is no method. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है आपको कोई फॉर्मूला याद रखना है कुछ रखना है. You just have to use a little bit of logic and you'll get the answer. There is one more question like this, which talks about the wrapper of chocolate. So the question goes something like this: that there, uh, after eating, after giving and every three wrappers, the child get another chocolate. Right. So this kind of question is there. I don't have the exact statement, but it also goes with the same manner. कि आपको आप जब भी जो 3 चॉकलेट खाएगा तो वो रैपर वापस करेगा तो उसको 1 चॉकलेट वापस मिल जाएगा. And then you have to calculate the number of chocolate he or she has eaten. This kind of question is also there. Okay. Now this is another question. It is totally dependent on data how you solve this. So try to solve this one. Okay, I got answer 16 in the chat box. Anyone else? Okay, let's see how to solve this one. So Disha bought some sweets on her 22nd birthday. She offered one less than the half of the total number of sweets in Gurudwara near her house. Since it is going to be about some sweets, let's assume that these some sweets be X. It is the sweets she has bought, that is equal to X. Now she offered one less than half the total number of sweets in Gurudwara near the house. So one less than half. So half is X by 2 and minus 2. This has been given to Gurudwara. So I'll just write down over here X by 2 minus. She also gave sweets each to three beggars sitting on the stairs of Gurudwara. So beggars she has given three sweets. Then she, on the way back to home, she stopped a big group of poor children and gave them half of what was left for them. Right? So whatever was left for them, उसका half उन्होंने दे दिया था. After reaching home, she shared the remaining two pieces. Now, if I start from this statement, there were remaining two pieces only of sweets with her younger brother. The younger brother was two. So ये जो younger brother के लिए जो two बचे थे, these were actually double before giving to the poor children. So उसमें से आधे दे दिए poor children को. So again poor children को भी कितने दिए जितने younger brother को दिए थे. So they have also got two and they have also got the younger brother also. Group of poor children, they also got two. So all together 3 plus 2 plus 2, 3 to 5 and 7. 7 she has given. Right. And x by 2 minus 1 she has actually donated to Gurudwara. So let's say the total sweets were x, out of which x by 2 minus 1, that is 1 less than half of total number of sweets. So 1 less than half of total number of sweets she has given to Gurudwara. And rest of the sweets, what she has done is she has given to beggars. So that has been taken care of 3. Then to poor children, that is 2, and younger brother 2, that is equal to 7. So this equation becomes x minus 2 minus 1 is equal to 7. X minus 2 plus 1 is equal to 7. This becomes x minus 2 यहाँ पर होगा, so it will become x by 2. And this one will go on that side, it will become 6. So 6 into 2, x will be equal to 12. The total number of sweets she originally had with. So this will be a fact answer. This you need to understand the question, that's it. And use a little bit of math. X is equal to 6. Let's see the next question. So we have connected questions over here. I need quick answer for this one.
5.
If you see, there are total of 12 sweets, out of which one less than half. So half is 6 and one less than that will be 5. So the number of sweets she offered to in the Gurdwara were five. It's simple and straightforward answer.
2.
If you are in a hurry, if you are in little bit of hurry, so one may write four because यहाँ पर हमारे पास दो थे, half of it were given, so they she originally had four. इसमें से आधा उसमें दिए. So if four is in the answer, if you are in hurry, you may make a mistake of adding down four, but that becomes an incorrect answer. The correct answer will be two pieces. Two were given to the poor children and two were given to the hurry. Two pieces will be the correct answer. Let's see this one.
सर उसका आंसर टू ही आएगा ना, फोर
So
उसके पास
L
थे,
L
उसमें
is
से आधा
missing.
दिए.
हाँ टू ही है, टू ही. Yes, that's correct answer. So, obviously this kind of questions are not asked in GATE, but this is a sequel question. जिसके बहुत सारे sequence है. So this is just the first part that I given over here. I'll follow with the next part. जैसे that question पूछे जाते हैं. So how you can proceed for this one? Simply start eliminating. So A gone, B gone. So you can start with A gone, B gone, C, D, E, G, J, K. L you cannot see anything. So L is left, which is. Let's see the next one. Try to solve this one.
D. ST.
Let's see. So yes, what you can do over here is to simply follow the options. Eliminating the options is the best way to solve this one. So if the letters are to be studied vertically, we need to focus on vertical ordering. These two letters happen to be the neighbors and occur in alphabetical. WX, WX, they are neighbor. They are in alphabetical order as well, but they are horizontal. They are not vertical. So this will go off. TR, TR. First of all, they are not in the alphabetical order. Right. So PQR should be there. UV, U is somewhere over here and V is here over here, so they are not vertical. ST, ST goes like this, and they are in the vertical order. They are studied vertically, so they are neighbors as well as they are in the alphabetical order. This goes to be the correct answer. Yes. Let's see the next one. Okay, I give you a little bit of time to solve this one. Try to solve this.
6.
That's correct. Right. So let's look into this. So first of all, you are supposed to find out the value of x. X is over here. So x goes in the middle line, right? Beach line hai. So there might be some of the relation that you are supposed to find out in the middle line. So 4, 3, 2. So how 3 is related to 4 and 2 that you are supposed to find. So 4 into 2 is 8. 4 plus 2 is 6. Yes, 6 is related to 3. So if I write down 4 plus 2, that becomes 6. And if I divide it by 2, I'll get 3. Let's do it for the second line. So 5 plus 3, 8, 9 and 10. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So it is 6 plus 1, 7, 8, 9 and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 divided by 2, this becomes 8, correct? Then 7 plus 2, 9, 9, 4, 13, 14, 15, 16. Again 16 divided by 2 becomes 8. And so 9 plus 3 is 12. And 12 divided by 2 will be equal to 6. This will be your answer. It's just adding all numbers and dividing by 2. This is the logic which is being followed. This will give you the center number. So this is how it is done. Let's see the next one. Try to solve this.
6.
That was quick. Very good. Yes, that's correct. Because 6 is the only number which is missing out of this 1 to 9. That is the first logic. But there is one more logic that that goes correct for this particular shape. Let's say if I write down 6 over here. Right. So if you add them like this, so 9 plus 1 is 10, 10 plus 5 goes 50. Similarly, 8 plus 4 is 12, and 12 and 3 is 50. So 6 plus 2 is 8, and 8 and 7 is 50. Similarly, the same thing goes vertically as well. So 5 plus 3 is 8, and 8 and 7 is 15. 8 plus 1 is 9, and 9 6 is 15. 9 plus 4 is 13, 13 and 2 is. Right. So either you add them vertically or you add them horizontally. We are going to get 15 in any of the case. And this kind of box, this kind of square is known as magic square, where the horizontal and vertical summation they are equal to 15. Let's move forward. Let's try to solve this.
16.
That was simple, yes.
16.
1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64. So square, it's 1 square, it's 2 square, it's 3 square, it will be 4 square, then we will get 5 square, 6 square, 7 square, 8 square, and 4 square is going to be equal to 60. Now, this is an interesting one. Try to solve this. What's some of the correct answers?
21.
Let's see. So how this kind of questions are solved? Let's try to see. When the zero was not invented, so people didn't have zeros. They had only 1 to 9, then 11 to 19, then 21 kind of things. People they could not multiply the numbers because there was no zero. Right. So after 9, we start with 11, 12, up to 19, then 20. We have to find out the answers of the following operations in the mathematics when zero was not. So we have 7 plus 11, which is 18. So up to this we don't have any zero, so 18 is fine. Plus we have to add 3, so it will become 19. So just write like this 19. 20 won't be there because 0 is not there. 21 and 20. So when you add 3, it will become 20. 22 will be the correct answer. So any number which is containing 0 over here will be skipped. So 22 will be a correct.
So 7 plus 11, it won't be become like 7 plus 9 plus 1 because 10 is not coming in between. So we can't
Yes.
write 18. We should write 17 in case.
See, we are supposed to find out the answer to the following operation in the mathematics used then. So that time we didn't had 0. So there is no concern about having 10 over there. So by default 11 is after 9. We didn't have 10 over there. So we won't be considering is 9 and then 11 then.
Okay, okay, understood, sir.
Whatever expressions they have given this by default is skipping 9, skipping 0. So we are not supposed to consider that. Right, let's move on to the next one. Let's try to solve this question. Yes. Try to solve this one. Not the answer in chat box, and that is correct. So simply it will be like 21 plus 29. Now these numbers which are given over here, they by default have skipped 0, right? So we are not supposed to consider about it. 21 plus 29 is actually 50, but 0 is not there. So instead of 50, I'll be writing now 51 because 0 is not there. So 50 was not there. And if I add 1 to 51, it will become simply 52. 52 is going to be our correct answer. Let's see the next one. Now, this is a good question. You need to solve this one. So for that, I'll give you a little bit of time. What suggestion I can give over here is form a table. Right, so that's the hint from my side. Try to solve this. Let's see what the data has been given. So we have 5 courses A, B, C, D, and E, each of 1 month duration are to be taught from Jan to May. As I told you, form the table. Let's try to solve this by forming a table. Let's start from Jan, then Feb, then March, then April. Then these are 5 months, and the 5 courses to be taught. Though not necessarily in the same order by lecturers. So we have 5 lecturers over here. Let's talk about them. P, Q, R, S, T. Right. So PQRST, 5 lecturers are teaching 5 courses. Now the data has been given. Let's try to analyze this. So P teaches course B. Right. So it has been given that I'll just create one more column over here about which course has been taken. So this is month, this is lecturers. At the end, we will be having course, which course they are taking. P teaches course B. So I have the first one, which is B, but it's not in the month of April and May. So April and May, he is not going to teach. So he is not going to teach. So it is crossed. Q teaches course A. So about Q has been given that A Q is teaching, and in the month of March. So this has been done in month of March. Now each is of one duration, so it won't go in April and May, which is not there, and it won't go in Feb and Jan as well. Now, if one course is being done in March, Q is teaching in March, so there won't be any other course. So rest all will also become cross. So there is no other course which can go simultaneously. Then R teaches in month of January. R is in January. So if it is in January, it won't go in any other month, and anyone else won't be teaching in January. Right. And it has also been given that R does not teaches C or D. So R is not having C or D, not C or D. So C or D goes with either S or T. So S and T will be either C or D, and the remaining thing, that is A, B, C, D. So last thing which left, this is left is E. So E will be full. Right. So this is how this goes. This table is done. Now, which has been given, yes. P will be teaching in Feb by default, and if P is teaching in Feb, so this will go cross. There is no other option left. So if now there are two options: either S will be teaching in April, so T will teach in May, or S will be teaching in May and T will be teaching in April. So these two are at the end. These two are still unknown. No information has been given. Anyways, let's start solving the question now. So which course is taught by S? So we have two options over here as per the data, which I also got in the chat box. Is correct. C or T, C or T. That is it. Let's the next one. Yes, try to solve this one. If you form the table, then it is fine. Else, try to solve this one.
Q.
Okay. I go to the table. Yes. After B, which lectures course immediately follows course B? So after B, B is done in Feb. So in March, just after B, we'll have A. In Q will be teaching A in March. So P, if you talk about B is taught by P. And which lecturers course? If you talk about lecturers, it is Q. And Q's course is A, which is taught in March. Right. So everything about this one. Next one.
P.
Which course is taught in January? Yes. So in January, R is going to teach E course. So E is the correct answer. That's correct. How are you getting E? You see which course is taught in January. So R is going to teach E in January. A single table can help you in finding out all the answers. Right? So if you form table like this, it becomes quite easier to find out all the answers which are been asked. Forming the table is going to take a little bit of time. Let's see one more question for the day. Okay, this one is that. When was Q's course stopped? Again, let's go to the table and see.
March.
March.
So Q's course was A and it was stopped in March. Okay, it has been given in the question as well directly. Q teaches course A in the month of March. A in this has been given directly. This one more question for the day. Try to solve this. me give you a little bit of hint into this question. So, in a family of six, there are three men, L, M, and N. So, I'll just write down L, M, N, and three women. These are men. R, S, T. Yeah. And the six persons are architect, lawyer, CA, professor, doctor, and engineer by profession, but not in the same order. So, order we need to find. So, I got one answer in the chat box. Yes, that's correct. Try to find it out. There are two married couples and two unmarried couples. Two married couples are there, two unmarried couples are there. There is a family of six. And is not R's husband. So and is not related to R. Just cut it off. And doctor is married to lawyer. So doctor is married to lawyer. R's grandfather is a professor. Now, since grandfather word is being used, I can use this liberty to form three generations. So, I'm going to deal with first generation, second generation, and third generation. So, we are having three generations over here. Right. Again, these three generations we'll have, and yes. So, we'll have female over here and male. I'll try to write down their occupations as well in short. So let's start from the first part. R's grandfather is a professor. So R is actually a female woman, right? R is a woman, and her grandfather is a professor. So whoever the grandfather in the first generation is a professor. M is okay. These are my reference points. So M is neither L's son. So if I talk about M, so he's not related to L. His son is not there. Then he's not architect. Then he's not professor. The lawyer is T's daughter-in-law. Okay, now this again, ये जो मैं इसको मैं वापस आता हूँ T's daughter-in-law, but lawyer is T's daughter-in-law. So this goes like lawyer is like, and lawyer is some on the female side. Right. So if you see the female side, either this is the possibility of lawyer or this is the possibility of lawyer. ठीक है, फर्स्ट जनरेशन में नहीं है बिकॉज डॉटर इन लॉ है तो वो सेकंड या थर्ड जनरेशन में ही होगा एंड टी की बात हो रही है सो टी विल बी ऑन द वुमन साइड सो आइदर टी कैन बी देयर और टी कैन बी देयर तो टी इन दोनों में सो अगर आप सेकंड वाले केस की बात करते हो सो थर्ड शुड बी द लॉयर और आप फर्स्ट केस की बात करते हो सेकंड शुड बी द लॉयर लाइक दिस so these are the possibilities and erase this up and form the table. Now, next thing is n is t's son. So t के exact immediate में n आ जाता है ठीक है नीचे and engineer's father. So n is in somewhere in middle part right. So n जो है वो middle part में middle generation में second generation में because वो किसी के father भी है and किसी के son भी है. So n is somewhere over here. He is t's son. अच्छा t की जो हमने इससे पहले बात की थी t can either be over here or here. ये सबसे ऊपर वाली जनरेशन में जाएंगे उनके बेटे आएंगे and he is engineer's father. So जो भी है he is an engineer. Right. और again I go back to the next part. T's daughter-in-law is a lawyer. तो t की जो daughter-in-law आएगी वो इसी जनरेशन में आएगी and she is a lawyer. Yes, he is married to N obviously. Now N is T's son and L is married to C. So L is married to a C. L is a man. So male की अगर बात करो तीन पोजीशन खाली है and देखिए M is not L's son. M is not L's son. Let's go back to the starting part. L is not R's husband, that is clear. R के husband नहीं है. Doctor is married to lawyer. So lawyer is not given. Doctor and law. Okay, doctor is given. Right. So again, I'll go back to this part. That doctor is married to lawyer. So N is going to be a doctor. N is a doctor and is married to a lawyer. R's grandfather is a professor. That is done. So R's grandfather is a professor. M is neither L's son nor an architect or if M is a man, now look into here. M is a man and he is not L's son. Right? We don't have L. So if he is not L's son, he can be a grandson as well. To read this part. Let's talk about M. M is neither L's son. Okay, L's son is not there. So हमारे पास यहाँ पर L M के son हो सकते हैं या तो फिर T के डॉट हो सकती है. We have these two positions left. Three positions left. Nor an architect or professor. So architect नहीं है, professor नहीं है, doctor नहीं हो सकते, engineer नहीं हो सकते, lawyer नहीं हो सकते. So by default, M is a C. M is C. Yes, T is grandmother of.
Sir, M can be engineer also. No?
Yes, M can be engineer. So यहाँ पर आ सकते हैं.
M is not a architect nor professor, and he can't be even wife, na. So he is a he. That's why he can be son of N.
और here, right? दोनों में से कोई option बचेगा.
He is not a professor. M is not a professor, na.
Okay,
It is
okay,
written.
okay. So M is an engineer. That is. So I'll be left with L. L becomes a professor, elemental, and R, and this becomes S. And so for R, we have now we have architecture left, and okay, L is married to a CA, so T will become a CA, and this thing which is left is architecture. Okay, fine. That is the point I was missing. Thank you. Okay. So now, how is T related to M? So T related to M, T will be grandmother. That is correct. T will be grandmother of M. Now let's see the next one. What is the profession of L's wife?
CA.
It was C. Look over here. L's wife was T and the profession was C. Who is an architect?
R.
R. So R is an architect. What is the profession of M's father? M's father. father is a doctor. His father is kind. He is a doctor. This was the last question for the day. Now, tomorrow also I'm going to take your class, and in tomorrow's class we'll start with the questions of date, which have been asked earlier, right? So, meanwhile, I also cover a little bit portion of Silox. Syllogism is left till now, so we'll cover Silox as well. So, tomorrow's time I'll be telling you better, right? So, we'll share the time. So, we'll keep it up to here. If you have any doubt, you can ask. We are free to.